And one of the things we talk about too is like attaching deeper whys to what we're pursuing. If it's fitness related, like, do you feel like for you, you've created now a deeper foundational why because you watched your mom do that? Like it now for you is a driving force. Like I know for me, my dad was the one that was like hitting the gym, making the protein shakes, like kind of setting that example. And then it became, you know, as I was like a teenager and playing sports, like we would go to the gym together. And it became this thing where it's like, that's my dad and I's time to relationally bond together. And then it kind of stuck with me from there. So I don't know, do you feel like there is something for you in that?
I mean, yeah, I think every season there was something, right? So like when I was younger, maybe it was a little bit more vanity, but like I wanted to look apart, right? I wanted to look a certain way and feel a certain way and perform a certain way. Like when sports, I knew like if I didn't work out, like I was going to get roughed around, especially in college. I was still trying to like develop into that, that basketball player that I ultimately wanted to be. And so there was a why there. And then, you go through your 20s and you feel like you're sort of, untouchable. And you can eat and drink and do all the things that you feel like you can do, right? And it doesn't really affect you. But I was so unhealthy overall in my 20s. I'd work out constantly. I mean, I was in the gym all the time doing back, bi, chest, tri, like doing the whole thing, right? But it wasn't until my 30s, it was actually my 29th birthday, my wife gave me the pregnancy test, the positive pregnancy test. That was like her birthday present to me of my daughter, Olivia. And it was just this wake-up call of like, holy crap, man. Like, I'm going to be, like, I will turn 30 right before or right after she's born. And so she was born in October of 2014. I turned 30. And right thereafter, and it was just like, I have to do something different. And so I reevaluated everything. And, the biggest thing that really turned it for me was nutrition. It wasn't going and working out harder or doing crazy amounts of, Metcons or anything like that. Actually, I wasn't really into CrossFit. I was doing a little bit of CrossFit at the time. But it was a deep dive into like, what am I putting in my body? And how is that serving me? And how is that fueling me for a purpose or for fitness or whatever it is? And so I really found at that stage, my life was like, man, I'm eating a lot of junk. And so I cut soda like cold turkey. Like I haven't touched it since I was 29.
Nice.
Not one drink, and it's like I cut alcohol for a while, and I've done that back and forth for over, a decade. Just recently, alcohol free since actually a year now.
Nice.
Which is cool. So, and it's just, yeah, man, but it's like, it's not serving me well. And so why am I doing it?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, nutrition was a big part of that.
That's the bigger picture too, that I love that you're jumping into this, is like you were already smashing workouts from the time you were 14, 15, 16 through your 20s, right? The motivation to get to the gym and crush hard workouts was there. But at some point we like mature and that expands to, okay, am I like, why am I in the gym? Why am I trying to get fit? Is it to look a certain way? Is it to feel a certain way? Is it to fill some void that I have? Mm-hmm. Or am I truly looking to take care of myself in a holistic way?
Absolutely.
And then that's where we get into like, okay, we have to actually take a step back and evaluate, okay, how do I get really intelligent and intentional with my nutrition, my sleep, how I'm treating myself, maybe like my psychology, analyzing some of those things, and like seeing fitness, quote unquote, as like the vehicle, the like foot in the door to this whole approach of like taking care of ourselves fully and honoring ourselves, right?
Oh, dude.
And then translating that forward and helping be an inspiration to other people with that.
That's so good, dude. I mean, yeah, it's like, I think about, there's so many things that you're saying there with, as it pertains to nutrition. That's, there's a reason why big food companies put the crap that they put in their food. Mm-hmm. It's very addictive and it's getting you hooked and you don't realize. I remember the first time I did Whole30, which is elimination and then reintroduction protocol. And it was alarming to me. Like, it was the first time I'd actually read ingredient lists. You know, it's like, holy crap, everything is crap, you know, and you're just like, and you thought it was healthy. Like I did, at least. Like, marketing does a really good job at disguising what, you know, what we would think is healthy. And it's like, it's just not.
Yeah.
And that's like all the rage even right now. Like, you could walk into any supermarket and you're seeing everything on the shelf that says high protein. Right. And then it triggers us in our brain, well, it has protein in it, so it's healthy, right? It's like, to the average individual that isn't doing the deep dive on the ingredients and all those things, they just see that big label and they're enticed. And then and it's a 1000% just a marketing strategy for these companies to make more money. But
be high protein or gluten free or organic, and then you look at the ingredients list, you're like, what the?
I just, like, my dad brought over these. Have you heard of like the supplement company like Bucked Up? Yeah. So it's like a pretty big, but they have this like clear protein drink now. And I thought this was the funniest thing, because like on the label of the protein drink, it says like gluten free. It's like, yeah, no shit, dude. Like, or they harvested grains to make this thing. Like,
they throw that on everything.
Everything.
It's
but if you don't know, I think it's like you took that step of awareness to be like, oh, I'm checking this out.
And so what I was going to get at to that point is like, not only the awareness of what is in it, but what is it doing to my chemicals that are putting into my body that are making me want that thing more and more and more, right? And so when I'm feeling sad, or when I'm feeling, you know, angry, or when I'm feeling like you feel all these emotions, you know, throughout the course of the day, and you're wanting, seeking, craving comfort. And people turn to all kinds of different things in which to, you know, suffice that, or to really pour into that and, like, you know, eliminate that. And it's like, and a lot of people, it's food. It's easily accessible. It gives you a good dopamine hit, you know, and so these sugars that are constantly in things, it's like, and I didn't realize how much I was, you know, in bondage to those things as I was in my 20s and early 30s. And so, like, eliminating those things when I did the whole 30, it was like, oh wow, like, you go through like sugar detox, like, dang, dude, like, there's a whole bunch of crap that I had in my body I didn't realize, and I didn't realize what it was doing to me emotionally and psychologically and mentally. And so it's not just what, you know, what's happening in my, you know, in my form, what's happening in my mind and how it's affecting my sleep, and you just go down the line. It's like, wow, it's really impactful. And so yeah, just being able to understand that a little bit more and navigate that in a way that's, at least you have the information, right? So now I can be able to put something in my body and say, okay, I know what this is going to do. And I have control over that, versus, you know, just grabbing something to grab something just to cope with.
Doing it unconsciously and not being aware.
Right.
Then you can start to build that relationship between, okay, what am I eating and how does it make me feel? And you're starting to build a relationship between your mind, your conscious awareness, and your physical body, because it's always giving us cues, right? It's always giving us feedback to, like, it's responding to the things that we're doing. Sometimes we don't make the connection, right? So as we grow in maturity and awareness, or our consciousness grows, and we start to become more aware of how the things that we're doing, whether it's maybe going too hard in the gym or eating something that our bodies don't agree with, how those things affect us or affect our sleep. And so we start to build that awareness over time. And we see that it's all connected, like you were just talking about.
It's like flipping the switch too, like with nutrition specifically. Like, you were someone that had these like goals in the gym. Like, you wanted to get bigger, you wanted to lift more weight, you wanted to feel good when you're like in there doing your thing. And it's making that clear distinction that, like, oh, if I just, you said the word fuel, like, if I fuel my body better, then the performance gets better. Like, and it's like, you can't do one, you can't, you know, it's the chicken or the egg, or what, you can't have your cake and eat it too. There's like a ton of ways to say that. You can't perform really well in the gym if all that you're putting in is a poor signal.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like, we touched on it, but alcohol is a big thing too. It's like, my sleep is so important to my muscle growth and to my longevity and to my overall health. And yet, like, you can crush I don't care who you are, crush a workout, eat like crap, drink like crap, you're not going to get the results that you want. And, you know, I just didn't realize that until, you know, later on, you know, in my 30s when I started really taking a deep dive to that. And, you know, so it's all intertwined. It's like understanding that, having awareness, having a bigger why with my daughter being born. And to kind of go full circle, it's like, you know, you had the environment when I grew up that stuck with me. Basketball was over in my 20s. I stopped playing. I started doing more like vanity workout, trying to get fit, but then drinking and eating like crap, not seeing the results, getting depressed, anxious, frustrated about, you know, where I was. And then having a wake up call of like, oh man, I'm going to have a daughter. Like, I'm not fit. I'm not an example, a role model that I want for her in my life. I'm not the husband that I need to be right now. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I'm mad at the world. And it's like, where's all this coming from? And you would chalk it up to all kinds of things. The last thing I would say, and most people would say, is like, what are you eating? You know, like, or is it your food?
Yeah.
And it's like, is it your sleep?
Yeah.
And we just don't think like that all the time. We want to put it on something else, like spiritual warfare or some bullshit like that. And it's like, no.
Like
There's actual things that are going on that you can control. And the thing that you can control is what you put in your mouth.
I love that you said that, dude. Is that I don't know that people give themselves enough credit to being the owners or the drivers of their own vehicle. Like, so many people are going through life pointing the finger at all the other things, all the outside noise. But like, I mean, we talk about that all day long on our shows, that like you get to have control of the things that you have control over. Like, take ownership. Yeah,
Absolutely.